So happy Tuesday, everyone. I am here in the studio this morning. I finished up a few graphic design projects. So now I'm not really sure what to do with myself, but I think what I'd like to do is prep a few large canvases that I just bought and get them ready for some new ideas that I have. So normally I would close the window in my studio when I'm doing filming just because the street noise is a little bit too noisy. I don't have my, want to get a microphone that clips on to me, and when I'm doing my interview series to my interviewee, and that way the video or the audio is going to be a whole lot better. But I don't have it just yet. The one I want, they don't have in stock right now, and it's also $300, and I don't have that kind of money just lying around right now. So what we're going to do in the studio today is I picked up I get my canvases usually at Michael's just because I don't really see much difference between their quality and the more expensive ones in the art stores. I got two different ones of the 18 by 24s. This is a 3-pack, which was quite reasonably priced. And then this one here is what they call their level 2. And they're really the only difference. The front surface is the same. I've used both before. The only difference is the back. This one has the back staples that you can see, and this one has everything all nicely tucked in. I don't know. If I was a collector, I'm not really looking at the back of the artwork. I'm looking at the front. So I don't try to get too hung up on stuff like that. I go with whatever I can afford at the time. I bought some of these simply because they have a deal right now. Buy one, get one free, so they're basically half price. So we're going to try and break into this. Because the material itself, I mean canvas, there's metal staples, and there's wood. I don't, again, have any particular brand of gesso that I use. I just kind of go with whatever is available that's a good price. That's what I had previously. I'm going to use up. This one I just bought, again, because they had a big sale on. I got this for 30% off, so it was a pretty good deal. And then I saved the takeout containers to use in the studio. I'm sure there are other crafty artists out there that use that kind of stuff in their studio. Sometimes I use too much, pour out too much. And then I like to tint the gesso, and I just use, I just have cheap acrylics that I don't actually use for anything else. Enough of this to tint it. Kind of mix it up. And I don't do, I don't worry about getting it super smooth or anything like that. Some artists are very particular about how they want the gesso to sit on the canvas and that kind of thing. I basically just apply it, and I'm not worried, because the whole idea for me is to give myself a surface that's a little bit more smooth and even to work with my oil painting. And even with my mixed media, I still prefer a smooth surface. Now, I know if you're watching, you'd probably say, well, why don't you use panels instead? With the wood, you still have to cover the wood, and it's a practicality. Wood is heavier, the wood panels, and so when I go and do festivals, obviously not this year, but next year, hopefully, we'll start up again. I have to carry all these in and out of the car over to my sign spot, etc., etc. And these canvas panels are super light, even once they have paint on them. So they're a lot easier to lug around to these different markets and festivals that I do than the wood panels. Now I have started using some wood panels just out of curiosity, but so far I noticed when I go to markets that people don't really care what the actual art is on. They're looking more at the artwork itself and whether they like it or not, and whether it's going to work with the room that they're putting in or whatever. So they don't really care if it's wood, if it's canvas, if it's barn board, if it's whatever. Because that's in my opinion anyway. I haven't met any collectors yet that will look at something and go, oh, that's on canvas, so I don't want it. No, I've never ever had that. Or vice versa. Oh, it's on panel, I don't want that on canvas. So I think what you decide to put your art on is artist's choice, really. It's your personal choice as the creator. So as you can see, I don't really have a method to this at all. I just kind of slap it on. And I actually like having the texture of the brush. Now, I know I said I didn't want texture, but I don't want the texture of the canvas itself. And then I also find if I don't put another layer of gesso, the canvas just like soaks up like a sponge, the oil paint, and you just can't get that nice fluid flowing. It's just, if you've never tried gessoing your own canvases, you definitely should give it a try, especially if you're doing oil paint, and see what you think. Who knows, maybe you actually prefer the texture of the natural canvas. So this one's good. As you can see, I do the edges too as I go. Obviously, I'm not doing the bottom because it has to have something to sit up. And then I just move it over to another easel. So I realized that wasn't the most exciting video that you've ever seen in your entire life, but it just kind of gives you a little bit of insight into how I start the painting process. Usually the idea part kind of comes into play, and then I'll grab a few canvases, prep them, and once they're dry, they usually take a couple days to dry completely, and once they're dry, then I'll start doing some painting. The next one I do have planned in my head that I want to get to is another of the grass series, a nice large one this time. It's just going to be completely intuitive painting, so I will certainly try to remember to turn the camera on and film that for you. Until then, bye for now.